When I became a beekeeper, I started to realize that there's really certain specific flowers that the honeybees like and go for, that are high in sugar, that they can really harvest enough nectar to make a crop of honey from. Goldenrod being one of them. Here, this is the fall, this is their last crop of honey before winter. And the aster, the smaller daisy-like flowers. But some flowers have high sugar, but the bees don't have long enough tongue to get it, and the hummingbirds get that. But, these are perfectly suited for the bees to harvest the nectar from and make honey. The smoke that helps calm the bees. It actually distracts the bees. This is interesting because we can see where they are making the honeycomb. These are all bees putting honey into those cells. Here's the full one that's capped. So the first thing we need to do is cut this wax off the top. Those are called the cappings, to open the cells and to allow that honey to be able to be pulled out in the spinner. We have a mechanized uncapper here. And this is the first step of the process. So usually it's great to work as a team.
Like, see, it gets a lot sometimes, but in order to get it off all the way, just scrape it.
And we put the frames in a spinner, and the centrifugal force pulls the honey out of those combs and then drips down to a spout where we can collect the honey in buckets.
If you look down on the side, you can see how it's starting to actually just spin out.
The date is very important, when we made it, how long it's been in this barrel, so we know we can keep track that it's fully fermented. We know when it's ready to be bottled or transferred to a new barrel. I actually learned and apprenticed with Frank Androzzi, the late Frank Androzzi from Little Hungry Farm Winery. And he made honey wine at his farm in Buchanan. And he was one of the first wineries in the state, and an old mentor that I apprenticed with for years and became dear friends. And this is where this model was planted for me. It's very knowledgeable, straight from Hungary, passing on the old world tradition of winemaking, which we follow here. We age our wines 2 years. We bottle them without sulfites. They're all raw wines with honey and water or honey and fruit juice. Nothing's heated or treated with any chemicals in any stage of the process. So it's truly the old world style of wine. We use stainless steel barrels mostly, where we mix the honey with water to make a true mead, which is only honey and water. Mix that together and add yeast and ferment that. And we do an open fermentation for about a month. And then we transfer it to sealed containers to age for 2 years before bottling.
Just with honey instead of vinegar, but people have associated it.
It ends up to be a naturally sparkling wine. This is the tulip poplar mead. It's made strictly with just the raw honey and our spring water here from the farm. Still a little sparkling from the natural carbonation in the bottle. Just beautifully sweet finish with a nice tartness to it in the middle, and a very flowery floral aroma. And I have a dream of a mountain meadery tour. I really would love to see honey become like maple syrup is to Vermont for West Virginia. West Virginia is prime for honey production. We have so many wild plants and trees that are good nectar producers, that are great for producing honey. Department of Agriculture is supportive of honey producers. It's our state insect is the honeybee. And we don't have some of the problems that are plaguing bees right now. West Virginia is an excellent place to keep bees for reasons of low pesticide use, There's not large agriculture here due to the rugged terrain. And it's hard to farm here. And so here's something farmers can do: produce honey in a rugged, rocky area that doesn't take tilling the ground, doesn't take, these wide open flat areas.